Good morning, I am Tracy Spence with their newscast. This newscast is brought to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330 and cruise in with the case handler. A show on personal injury and immigration weekdays 8:30 a.m. on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. Now for the news in details. People's National Party (PNP) spokesman on health and wellness, Dr. Murray Sky, says the Jamaican government has not only lost control of the fight against the coronavirus, but it has also abandoned the testing protocols, leaving the nation to battle the alarming increases in positive cases on its own. In a release yesterday, Dr. Guy said the entire testing regime appears now to be on autopilot, which is guaranteed to spread the disease faster and wider afield, exposing vulnerable groups to the possibility of death. The party said that based on the decision by the National Public Health Laboratory to accept only 400 samples per day for testing, it means that even the high numbers do not represent what they are currently dealing with at the hospitals. The party noted that with more than 100 new cases per day and the number of deaths averaging over 2 per day, the crisis needs urgent and strict management. Dr. Guy said the idea put forward by Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, that the coronavirus management of testing can be treated in the same vein as the dengue virus is unacceptable. He said in the case of coronavirus, it is only through testing, isolating suspected cases, and contact tracing that a reduction in the spread can be achieved. Therefore, the management of the coronavirus must be a deliberate strategy to engage communities and enforce protocols, Dr. Guy said. Jamaica's Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, with the support of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, will use GIS mapping, demographic and health data to drive the safe reopening of schools. This was among the strategies discussed at a meeting at the Ministry's National Heroes Circle offices earlier this week, called by Portfolio Minister Favour Williams. The meeting included key stakeholders from the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Dr. Webster Carr shared with the Ministry of Health and Wellness data on the confirmed COVID-19 cases, COVID-19 spread, as well as a summary of the inspection of schools, including assessment of their readiness. School zones have also been assigned with vulnerability scores to allow for continued assessment of their COVID-19 readiness. The teams from the ministries will be having further collaboration to perfect the formula to ensure that as the school reopening process continues, there is continued emphasis on the safety of all stakeholders, the ministry said in a news release. Meanwhile, the People's National Party, PNP, and the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, have expressed sadness at the death of former Cabinet Minister Dr. D.K. Duncan. Dr. Duncan, who recently tested positive for COVID-19, died earlier yesterday. He was 80 years old. PNP President Dr. Peter Phillips said the entire party is in shock and saddened by Dr. Duncan's passing. Dr. Phillips said Dr. Duncan's passing represents not only a great loss to the PNP but to the Jamaica's progressive movement. In a statement, the PSOJ said that Dr. Duncan served the country with fervent passion and unwavering patriotism as a cabinet minister, member of parliament, as well as through his various capacities in the PNP. Both the PSOJ and the PNP expressed condolences to Duncan's wife Beverly, his children, and other members of his family. Finally, in sports, West Indies women's head coach Andre Colley has hailed last weekend's practice match as key to the side's preparations for next week's 5-match 2020 series against England. The inter-squad match, one of two scheduled before the international series gets underway, saw Stephanie Taylor 11 defeat DeAndre Doughton's 11 by 8 runs. West Indies captain Taylor found form ahead of the series with 71 of 52 deliveries, including 9 fours, as her side posted 131 for 6 of 20 overs. Alia Alain captured a 3 for 35, while fellow seamer Shakira Salmon supported with 2 for 15. West Indies takes on England in the first T20 International next Monday at the Incoro County Ground. The series is being played under strict health protocols and behind closed doors because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And that is it for the news. This newscast came to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. And cruise in with the case handler, a show on personal injury and immigration weekdays 8:30 a.m. on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Tracy Spence. To have a good morning.